Okay, this is example 3 for using the quadratic formula. Okay, so just a reminder, the quadratic formula is given to you in your National 5 exam. Your formula is x equals minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, and that's all over 2a. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to identify what are the values of a, b, and c. A is the number that multiplies the squared term, so here a is 8. B is the number that multiplies the term on its own, so b here is negative 7. And c is a number left at the end, so here c would be plus 1. Plus 1. Okay, so we're going to substitute these values into our formula. So minus b, so that's going to become minus 7, because b is minus 7. Plus or minus the square root of b squared, that's going to become minus 7 squared minus 4 times a, that's going to become 4 times 8 times c. And that's all over 2 times a, that's going to be 2 times 8. One thing that's really important here is that, see the 4ac part, always put that inside a bracket, because there can be cases where you might get a math error if you don't put it in, and because the calculator struggles to deal with negatives. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to simplify this a wee bit further. If we have a look here, we've got negative 7, well, a negative is a positive, plus or minus the square root of, okay, so we've got negative 7 squared, that's negative 7 times negative 7, that's 49, and then we're subtracting 32, and that's all over 16. So we've got 7 plus or minus the square root of, what's that, 19 take away 2, 17. Okay, so we're now at the stage where we can split them into our two options, because we've got this plus option here, and we've got this minus option here. Okay, so we're going to split them. We could have x equals 7 plus root 17 over 16, or we could have x equals 7 minus root 17 over 16. Okay, because we're essentially just splitting those two options, because remember, when we have a quadratic formula, we more often than not have two roots. Okay, so now it's just a case of putting in what you see exactly as you see it into your calculator. So we've got 7 plus root 17 over 16, and that is 0.695. And similarly over here, we're going to do 7 minus root 17 over 16, which is 0.179, blah blah blah. The question originally asked us to do to 2 decimal places, so we'll do that here. So that's going to become x equals 0.70 to 2 decimal places, and x equals 0.18 to 2 decimal places. Okay, you're always going to get two answers when you're doing the quadratic formula.